On the green, we sway with a beer in hand every day. From the tee to the hole, we're just trying to keep control. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise, for the love of the game and the haze. A swing and a miss, oh what a sight. We laugh it off with delight. With each swig from the can, we're the best at this plan. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise, for the love of the game and the haze. No matter the score, we're here for the fun, the sun, the laughs and the pun. So here's to good times and great friends we found in this game where we're barely out of bounds. So grab your clubs and enjoy your brew. We're here to make memories come true in the world of golf and beer. We're barely out of bounds. Cheers. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise, for the love of the game and the haze. For the love of the game and the haze. No matter the score, we're here for the fun, the sun, the laughs and the pun. So here's to good times and great friends we found in this game where we're barely out of bounds. So grab your clubs and enjoy your brew. We're here to make memories come true in the world of golf and beer. We're barely out of bounds. Cheers.
And welcome back to another episode of Barely Out of Bounds. It's your boy Rico Daddy Slick here.
How did your crew not get out there? They're playing golf!
On the green, we sway with a beer in hand every day. From the tee to the hole, we're just trying to keep control. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise, for the love of the game and the haze. For the love of the game and the haze.
I don't know about it this class. I don't know.
Hello and welcome back to the Barely Out of Bounds podcast.
All right, welcome everybody.
Of course, we are joined here. I am Taurine Michaels, and we're joined by.
You thought it was like a Justin Timberlake holler out? No, dude, it's gonna be metal. It's gonna be metal. It's gonna be mental.
Hold on, I'm just getting this in. Turns out that was a dumb joke, actually. They're gonna have to ask you to do better.
You're gonna need to stop this with the whole like headset thing, like making that a prop. It's pretty brutal.
Listen here. You know, we're so happy everyone's joining us here today. One of the best parts about this podcast is the drinking. So Zane, what are you
Great
drinking
question.
tonight?
It is the U.S. Open. I'm super excited for it. I hope you guys are too. So I'm drinking an American pastime. Boys, it's Miller time. It's Miller Lite. I know I swore them off because they do make it with corn syrup. Miller, be better. But it is one of the most American things one can drink beside Budweiser. So here we go. Zach, what about you? What do you got?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, Zane. We fought long and hard to figure out what would best drink be to celebrate another major championship, and we are going to be drinking the RM Rose Whiskey Barrel brand straight bourbon whiskey out of Dillard, Georgia. This is actually Georgia's first registered distillery. So right out of the hometown of my mother-in-law. So I'm more of a Scotch drinker myself, but we're going to enjoy some bourbon tonight. Cheers.
So, Zach, we got a weekend for us this week. But, I mean, as always, let's cover up the previous week. Now, it was a barn burner coming down to the RBC. Zach, were you able to watch it at all?
I wasn't able to watch a ton of it, Zane. Course has been busy the past week and a half. We're preparing for member guests starting tomorrow. But, I did get updates from a brother of mine who just constantly kept updating me on how crazy Shane Lowry was and how nice his beard looked. And, how that, Shane Lowry's actually not that hairy of a guy. You would think that because of the year, but he's not actually that hairy, which I thought was a weird inclusion. But, but yeah, barn burner down to the finish.
Yeah, it was a barn burner. So Ryan Fox was able to take it down at the 2025 RBC Canadian Open on the fourth playoff hole. Yeah. It was a pretty big event. Sam Burns was obviously in there. Sam Burns said, quote, he couldn't ask for an easier putt. He said he knew that he needed to make birdie if he wanted a chance. And, good on Fox. I mean, this is his second win of the season. So, he's going into the U.S. Open feeling hot. So we'll see how he does. At the end, I hope you guys stay tuned. At the end, we do go over our DraftKings picks for this tournament. We are doing the PGA Showdown, $25,000 drive to green, $5,000 for first place. Join us. It's one of the first things you pull up whenever you're in the lobby for the PGA stuff. So super excited about that. I think I've got what it takes to pull this down. And Zach, somebody's going to have to take a shot tonight because somebody didn't.
Does it count if I'm drinking straight whiskey that shot's basically good to go?
No, we're going to have to pour a shot glass, my friend. I had to. You have to. Tomato.
All right, well,
potato.
I'm going to be drinking out of this shot glass. This is a horn shot glass.
Love it.
Yeah. And just so I to make sure we're mixing liquor in the pit of my stomach. If I can open this, Jesus.
Zach's having a rough time over there.
We're going to have Old Forge Distillery and Forge Tennessee Spirits Moonshine.
Good choice. What did you think? Oh, did you see what happened with Cam Young at the RBC? I'll just talk while you're pouring that. Did you see that? What happened on one of the final holes where he just nuked it over the green?
No, I didn't see him nuke it over the
green with a wood or whatever. It was like, I thought I was going to be 12 feet. Because he was all he needed to do was par. Yeah, all he needed to do was par. Anyway, disappointing, Cam. Disappointing.
All right. Cheers to all the homies.
Cheers.
Cheers to my brothers.
Me?
Shout out to Tori and Michaels.
Wow, you took that slow.
That's actually a good tasting moonshine. It's very alcoholic, but it tastes pretty good.
You took that really slow. You must have enjoyed it.
Kinda.
Kinda. Not really.
Enjoy the taste. The after effect is
Not pleasant.
it's not.
not
It's not
pleasant?
horrible. It's just anytime you're drinking something that's like 50, 60 proof, it's gonna bite a little.
Yeah,
You bite it, it bites back. You know what I'm saying?
that's true. So let's go into. I mean, so Zach clearly doesn't want to talk about the RBC. That's okay. That's all right. We'll talk about the thing everybody wants to know about, right? Everybody wants to know about, and that's this little baby right here, Oakmont Country Club. Everybody's.
I was confused. I can barely see the logo.
Okay. Are you hating on the shirt? Is that?
I'm not hating on the shirt. I just couldn't see the logo. The contrast in colors between the solid color of the shirt and the color of the logo doesn't stand out enough in the camera view that you prevented yourself in.
Sounds like you're
Not prevented. Sorry. I apologize. That it's a Torian Michaels guarantee. He'll apologize when he mispronounces or missays something. Presented, not prevented.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
You can continue. Oakmont.
So anyway, Oakmont. So we've been seeing all of this hype about the rough, about the conditions. It's looking windy. I don't know if you saw the video. Did you see the video of the guy putting it from 125 yards?
I did not see that video. I saw some videos of people putting.
It's pretty nuts. And so, like, obviously, the only reason I knew it was windy is because you could hear it. And it was, like, buffeting against the microphone. And he putted it from 125 yards onto the green. And I thought we'd check through some of these videos just to see how crazy this is. So,
actually, real quick, Zane, what do you think? So I'm going to share an opinion after you tell me your opinion of how Oakmont is going to play this week. And then I'm going to share opinion someone gave to me.
Do you think it's overhyped? Like, my question to you is, like, answer
my question.
I've heard. Okay, I'm going to answer your question. I think the leader in this tournament is going to be 1 or 2 over. I think it's going to be a Webb Simpson Olympic Club tournament.
Okay.
I think that's what's going to happen. I just don't see it happening any other way. You hear the quotes by Ben Griffin. We'll get into those quotes, but you hear the quotes by Ben Griffin saying, like, how he would take 4 over. Like, if you gave him 4 over, he would take it.
He not only said that, he said, I would take 4 over and I'd feel confident that I'd be right in it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right there.
Because 1 over, everybody knows 1 over and 4 over are completely different. It's just not the same thing. Like, everybody knows it's only 3 shots, but it's really not only 3 shots.
Yeah.
That
4 over is someone playing the best golf in the world for a weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is wild. So I think 1 or 2 over is going to win. I think that person has already won this season. I'm pretty confident that Scotty Scheffler is going to take down Oakmont.
Okay.
I just don't see it. Going back to what we were talking about before, looking at the data golf. No, I mean, data golf, like, it just doesn't lie. It doesn't lie about their performance. Now, obviously, you can interpret it wrong. Obviously, and everybody can have a bad week. Everybody can have a bad week. I had a pretty good week this last week.
This past week you did. The previous 3 or 4 were not great.
Not great, but everybody can have a bad week. But Scotty, right? Scotty, who I haven't picked the last 4 times we've done the
He's picked him this week.
I think I am. I think I did. So the reason, though, is just because tee to green, he keeps the ball in play, and he hits it so damn straight. And if you're hitting the ball straight, you're going to win here at Oakmont. That's what's going to happen.
I have someone else winning at Oakmont, but I see what you're saying.
Well, let's get into it with you. What do you think the final score is going to be at the end of this week? On top of that, what do you think? Who do you think takes it down?
I think that the final score will be 1-2 under.
1-2 under?
I do. I think it'll be 1-2 under.
You think under par wins the U.S. Open?
I think you get under par, you've won the U.S. Open this year.
I agree with that. I think if you get under par,
I think someone will do it.
You think somebody will.
And that person's name is not Scotty Scheffler.
Who was that person's name?
That person's name, sadly, because
Shane Lowry.
Dinged him on the podcast.
Shane Lowry.
We've dinged him on the podcast multiple times. That person's name is Colin Morikawa.
You're just saying that because he's leading the tour in fairways hit.
No, he's not leading the tour in fairways hit or fairway hit percentage.
What is he leading the tour in?
He's number 2.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like 100%.
But out of the guys at the top of that board, he is objectively the best tee to green.
I don't think he does it. I don't think he does it. Like, he's obviously one of the most consistent guys on tour. But when it comes down to it, like, and he did finish T20 at Memorial. But T20 at Memorial was what? Like, what did he finish at Memorial? He finished 2 over.
Listen, Zane.
And that rough was crazy.
Hey, listen. That rough was crazy.
I don't see it happening, dog.
This rough is crazy. So while Scotty does lead tee to green, he's nowhere near the top of fairway.
So if we go to like course history, let's take a look at this. I'm going to share my screen real quick. So just for you guys to know, this is a great tool. If you're ever looking at like betting, obviously, or whatever, this is Data Golf. And so for those of you that are just tuning in and haven't watched us before, this is what we always use. Now, this is a course history tool. Now, it's matching for Oakmont, so this would take into consideration any tournaments they play at the course. Obviously, the 2016 U.S. Open was there. I got to go to that, actually. So we can see right here, if you go to one of the big things you want to look at is true strokes gain and then versus expectation, because versus expectation is going to be based off of like how they were playing at the time versus how they performed at the course, right? So I always do the versus expectation. And if we want to look up Morikawa, let me do that again. If we want to look up Morikawa plays, he did not play in either the 2007 or 2016 U.S. Open. Yeah, I know.
Done.
But
and he's already got a U.S. Open and an Open championship.
I get that.
The guy performs well at majors, okay?
Okay. All right.
Guy performs well at majors and he's accurate off the tee. That's a recipe for success. Fit. He's the second most accurate guy on tour.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Who fits the mold at Oakmont? Are you seeing this?
I am seeing it. Oh boy, someone was trying to correct me and then looked at the numbers, and the numbers got the
Hey, I was right about the Data Golf. Damn, dude. I do think Scheffler takes it down. I mean, look at that. And he's
look at Aaron Rye.
Aaron Rye is a good pick. Aaron Rye is a great pick.
I love it. Love him there.
So anyway, just letting you guys know, I mean, this is really cool. This is predicted shot. Oh, that's I think you got to pay for that one. Yeah, you do. I don't pay for it. So if you want to, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, this is shout out to Data Golf. I will always plug Data Golf. I don't care if they don't sponsor us or nothing. It's really great. But anyway, yeah, Colin's a good fit for this tournament. I think that's fair. I don't know, man, but what's his last major he won? The PGA Championship.
The Open. I thought it was the Open.
Did he win the Open?
I thought he won the Open. I could be wrong. Hold on. Colin Morikawa.
I think he did win the Open now that you say that.
Pretty sure he did.
Yeah, he does. He won the 2021 Open Championship. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he didn't turn professional until 2019. He won a U.S. Open and a PGA. Oh, he did win a U.S. Open. He finished T4 in 2021. Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, it's been a while for him. But maybe that's the thing that it's like that.
He's been waiting for a course like this. He's been waiting for a course where Bryson and Rory in the U.S. Open can't just pound it and get good lies in the bunkers.
I do think this is going to be, but I agree with you. Under par wins outright. Under par is going to win outright.
I think Colin Morikawa wins it at 1 or 2
Yeah.
under. I don't think you'll ever see someone play this course the way Dustin Johnson did in 2016. I don't think it'll ever be played
I don't think
that
either.
well again.
I don't think that happened.
I mean, shooting 4 under is
Even Dustin Johnson
insane.
seemed to suggest that this is a different. I mean, they even are playing this harder than they did in 2016.
It looks harder. I mean, I saw. So I know Zane doesn't watch YouTube golf, but I saw the.
I did too. Yeah,
Bros,
where he played the wrong
their
ball
major cuts,
2 times. Did you see that? He played the wrong ball 2 times because of how bad that rough is.
So I watched that and just seeing how, like, if you're hitting every fairway, you can score out there. It is possible to score. Problem is, every fairway is only like 20 yards wide, and the rough is it's auto bogey almost auto bogey if you hit it.
Yes, it is. So we're going to take a look at some of these videos coming out of the practice rounds and the first looks. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is Rory McIlroy. So we're going to get into the press conference where he talks about what he shot in his practice round in his scouting trip. He shot 81 with 2 birdies to finish. Dude, if that's how hard this course is playing for these guys in a practice round, they don't stand a chance. But I think honestly, just judging from that, Ben Griffin's exactly right. This is going to be a wash. Let's watch it.
It's a slog.
God. Dude.
Gotta swing harder than that, little guy.
He swung pretty damn hard.
You got to take a full swing. If you're trying to hit it 20 yards, it needs to be a full swing. I mean, that, like, seriously, like, I'm not kidding. Like, watching Grant and Wesley and George play that course, like, if you're in the rough, almost everything has to be, like, a full swing, 3/4 swing.
No.
Because it's just, like, the club just won't go through it. And they're using a machine to fluff the rough up to make it to, like, pull it up so that your ball is always sitting down.
Yep, and they're taking mowers. Yeah, they're taking mowers and, like, putting them at the highest length. Here's a video of that. Let's go ahead and share it. Let me go ahead and share my screen. There we go. So here's the mowers are out in full force. This is funny. Look at this. It's not cutting. It just stands the rough up.
Yeah.
Look, they're not actually cutting the rough.
Just stands the rough up.
That's nuts. Dude, that is so crazy.
I mean, your best bet is hit the fairway or hit 30 yards right where the 30 yards right or left where the spectators are.
Yeah. Phil Mickelson tweeted back. He responded to that tweet by Nuclear Golf. He said, they're not working. They're not cutting shit.
They're cutting the greens.
Oh, yeah.
They are cutting the greens for sure.
That is a guaranteed. That is guaranteed. But anyway, yeah, dude, it's looking super, super difficult. I don't know, man. Like, do you have any, like, dark horses that you think are gonna do something crazy?
Let me look at my team real quick. I got some dark horses on my team. I do. I've got one of my dark horses, Nick Taylor.
Nice.
He's just playing really good right now. Honestly, he's just playing really good. He's also very accurate off a tee and a pretty good ball striker. He could definitely sneak into contention. I don't think he can win. Aaron Rye is another guy I like at this course with these conditions.
Aaron Rye's good.
Mainly because he's not I also don't hate Straka.
Straka would be good, but he's not as accurate off the tee, is he?
He's pretty accurate.
He's pretty accurate off the tee. Okay, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty accurate. That's a pretty good pick too. And he's long. I mean, Straka's got the length to help
Yeah,
him.
Straka's got length, and he's very accurate. 11th on tour in driving accuracy for those.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Almost 70% of fairways.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good pick. That's a good pick. Anyway,
I mean, the issue for those guys is going to be avoiding those big numbers because they can happen really fast out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what Justin Thomas has to say about what they're going to shoot this week. You ready?
Yep.
So let's go ahead and share the screen right now. So Justin Thomas, he took to X, and he said, so much talk about, quote, what would X handicap shoot at Oakmont, end quote. Why do we find a way to make it happen? Have a 5, 10. Why don't we find a way to make it happen? 5, 10, 18, whatever handicap play Monday after the U.S. Open. Back tees, full rules of golf, and see what happens. That would actually be pretty awesome. May have to let a few groups through and allow for 6 to 7 hours, but I think we're all here for it. No, Zach, are we here for it?
So this, I think, is related to a tweet by Bryce or a statement by Bryson DeChambeau, where he said that an 18 handicapper would struggle to break 200 at Oakmont this week.
That's crazy.
And now everyone was clowning him. He's like, "Oh, just take a 7-iron and a putter, and you could break 200." And it's like, I don't think you guys understand. An 18 handicapper is not getting out of that rough.
Yeah,
It's 5 or 6 shots just to get back.
but
into
it's
the
not
fairway.
200. I don't think they'd shoot 200. Like that's a little. That's overstating it for sure. Don't go. That you're not going to shoot 200.
I'm saying an 18 handicapper means that they're
I know
out
what
of
an
their
18 handicapper is.
out of their best rounds.
Yes,
They're 18 over par,
I agree. Yeah.
and that is
They're not going to shoot.
not
200.
off the tips.
They're not going to shoot 200.
Some of those guys aren't going to be able to reach the fairway.
No, because 200, even with like OB, even if you like don't find the
Man,
ball,
I think that rough is punishing enough. It would.
nah. Sorry,
I
bud.
think it's
200 is too
possible.
much. 200 is too much.
I don't think it is.
You can think what you want.
I've
So
seen-
Kyle Porter tweeted back. He said, "I did this exact thing on Monday in 2016 from the Sunday tees. 4 dots. I was probably 12 at the time, so a 12 handicap. Hit my first drive about 310 up the right side, made 4. Legitimately thought in that moment I was going to shoot 74. Definitely thought I was going to beat. I think I went out in 53 and shot right around 115.
And this
That's
course is tougher.
crazy.
And that guy's a 12.
Yeah, but it's not. He's not going to shoot. Nobody's going to shoot 200.
150.
150, I believe. I believe
I
full
could
rules
see
of golf.
200.
I think
could
full rules
definitely
of
see
golf. 150
Full
is
rules of golf. Yes,
Full
200
rules of golf.
and you could ballpark 200.
nah. I don't think so, bud. I don't think so. But
You give me Bobby fairways on that golf course from the tips in the current conditions, he ain't breaking 200.
okay, you can think what you want, dog. I just think you're wrong. I just think 200 is too much.
Okay.
That's
I actually don't know what handicap Bob is. He's probably around a 16. He could probably do it.
yeah. Riggs would shoot 150 for sure.
No, Riggs would not shoot 150. He's not that bad, Zane.
I don't know. He's pretty bad. Anyway,
He's not a 4, but he's not. He's probably. I would say he's probably an 8 or a 9.
yeah.
I think
Okay.
he's twice as bad as he claims.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at how Phil's handling the rough here at Oakmont. Let's go ahead and share the screen again. This is Phil from Golf Digest on X. Let's see him. Look at that ball. It's still rolling. He went under the ball on that one.
Yeah.
Dude, this is going to be a nightmare.
I mean, like, it's one of those things where, like, you legitimately, like, when you're at those spots, like, you just kind of have to take that, like, if you're in the rough next to the green, like, 20 feet might be the best you could do, but you can't whiff it.
Well, and
know
you
what I
just
mean?
don't know. Here's the thing: there's no way to know how that ball's gonna react.
Yeah.
Like that's the hard
And
part.
you have to take such a big swing.
Look at that.
Caught it perfect.
You have to take such a big swing just to even get through the rough.
Yeah. Well, and this goes to show, like, wow, oh my god. I mean, this just goes to show that whenever they are swinging, or whenever you're in rough like this, like flop shots, even though the greens are fast, are probably not your friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's just so hard to square that club up and make contact even.
That one
Yeah.
will be going viral.
Like it's almost better to land it or try and land it just there, you know?
Yeah. So are you sad about this being Phil's last US Open?
Yeah, we should probably talk about that.
Since we just brought him up, we got
Since we just brought him up, he did say it was going to be his last, didn't he?
Well, he runs out of eligibility
Yeah.
on this US
Yeah.
Open. So unless he wins it, it's probably his last.
I really hope he wins it.
He
I
ain't gonna win
don't
it.
I don't think he's going to.
I would love to see that.
like if we go to course fit, like this is the problem. If we go to full course
It's
fit,
probably the worst fit for him.
dude, it's a negative adjustment. So like, well, it's not a lot, but it is enough. He's not accurate enough off the tee. He's not long enough off the tee. This is not going to work well in his favor. He's also not playing short game well enough to do well here. Like his short game, he's only plus 0.1, plus 0.01 on everybody in data golf. And so that's just not going to get her done. You know what I mean?
I mean, he would have to come for it. What would Phil have to do this? Would he have to win, or would it like a top 10 get him?
Would a top 10 get? He would have to win. Top 10 won't do anything for him, I don't think. Because think about it, it would in the old system it would, because that would give him enough like OWGR points to maybe push him up, and you could keep that rolling if you're on the PGA Tour. But because those guys only get those OWGR points from the majors, that wouldn't do it. You know what I mean?
So he would either need to win a major championship. So he
Yeah.
could win the British, or he could.
He's won it before.
Yeah, he could win the British. Qualify for the U.S. Open qualifying system, like going through the sectional. Hi, Mom. I love Phil. We know.
We know.
He would need to.
That's
do
her
that.
forgive me guy.
Or it would be he would
Right,
have
Dad?
to receive a special exemption from the USGA. But this is most likely his last U.S. Open.
Yeah. And that's
sad.
sad. It is sad. It's the end of an era. It's kind of like that whenever Tiger announced that he was, having that neck surgery. It's like that's kind of how it feels. It's really sad, actually. So anyway, is there any anything you want to share with the class?
Let me see.
Oh my God. I'm going to show you real quick. This is for round 1. This is Michael Kim shared this. This is amazing. I love this. Michael Kim, thank you. So this is on the app that they have showing the pin locations, right? This is showing all the pin locations. Look at some of these dirty pin locations for the U.S. Open.
Yeah, I'm going to expand it so people can see a little bit better. Oh, I thought that would expand it more.
What were you doing?
Nothing. Never mind. I was trying to expand it more. Why'd you do that?
I'm trying to do this. There we go. Just picture in picture. There we go. But anyway, let's take a look at some of these. So obviously, starting it off super easy with like right next to the side of the green, five paces. What is this? 6 paces, even closer to the top. 6 paces, 6 feet. I'm sorry, not 6 paces. 4 feet. That's almost borderline illegal, dude. This is insane. I mean, this is just crazy. Like,
Have you seen how big the greens are out there?
They're huge.
Yeah.
They're huge. This is like so close to the edge, though. It's ridiculous. Look at that. Dude, this is going to be – dude,
Are you sure that's feet, not paces?
I'm 100% sure now. 49 paces would be 49 times 3.
That's how big the greens are.
I don't think so, dog.
Dude, yes. That's how big the greens are.
Okay, maybe.
They're gigantic.
They are big.
They
are big.
Inches, dude.
Anyway, but that's still crazy.
It's still tight. Yeah.
Yeah, it would. I think you're right. It would be because the green depth is 58. Those would be paces. Those would be yards.
Yeah.
That's still nuts, dude. 12 feet from the edge. 12 feet from the edge. Where was the one that said 3? Wasn't there one that said 3 or 4?
There was one that said 4.
There's tons that say 4.
Yeah.
4, 4, 4. And that's just side. That's not counting like this one, which is definitely closer. If that says 5, because it looks like it says 5, that's definitely closer than 5. You know what I mean? This is just going to be one of the hardest courses on God's green earth starting tomorrow.
Earth.
I'm really excited. I'm going to be
I'm pumped.
I'm going to be playing it in the Bay at golf club for my clients.
And shooting 103.
Yeah, dude.
Zane? Honestly, if you were at the U.S. Open this week, what do you think you would shoot? Playing how you're playing right now.
90.
You think you could shoot 90?
I think I could shoot 90.
Okay.
I think I definitely could shoot bogey golf. Bogey golf, I could.
Okay.
Rules of golf and all, I could do it.
Okay.
What about you? What do you think?
Like yesterday or tomorrow, I'm teeing it up. Probably like 93, 95, somewhere in there.
Yeah. I mean, it's brutal, dude.
I think I could break 100, but I don't know if I'd be doing much better than that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like the problem is like those 2 or 3 swings around where my driver just goes.
Yeah.
Every other time it's right down the middle. It's just 2 or 3 swings around. I'm working on it, gang. I'm working on it. You know, Torian Michaels, he never gives up.
He never gives up.
It's one thing you can say about Torian Michaels.
Yep. So let's real quick. I just because it is the U.S. Open, I did want to go into a really cool tweet thread by Jamie Kennedy, and that is he goes into Johnny Miller. Of course, Oakmont. It's historic that they have the U.S. Open at Oakmont. Johnny Miller shot 63 to shoot the course record at Oakmont. 5 under for the tournament. And I just wanted to kind of go through.
Were the greens rolling in 8 back then, and was that fast?
Well, he goes into the data, so I figured we'd give it a look. And after looking at the data, kind of give our
playing 1,000 yards shorter.
We'll go over it, Zach. Relax. So just how good was Johnny Miller 63 at Oakmont? Jamie Kennedy says, spoiler, it was better than you probably realize. In the final round of the 1973 U.S. Open at Oakmont, Johnny Miller shot 63. Having shot 76 on Saturday, Miller started the day 6 shots back of the lead. He won by a shot. It is considered arguably the greatest round of golf history, but modern analytics agree. Quick notes from the round. Miller hit every green in regulation. In fact, he hit 17 in regulation and 1 under regulation.
That's striking it.
Meaning on one hole, you hit it there under regulation, meaning you have an eagle putt, right?
Yeah.
For those of you that aren't aware. He found the green in 2 on the par 5 9th hole. He also hit 12 out of 14 fairways. Dude, if somebody does that this week,
it's not happening.
It's not happening. If somebody does do that this week, they win because they're not bothered by the rough at all. If they can hit 12 out of 14 fairways every day, they will win the U.S. Open.
What is 12 out of 14 percentage-wise? That's like 90, 80%?
It's above 80, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So now he carded 9 birdies on the final round. In the previous 3 rounds combined, he had 7. That's insane. That's an insane number there. So On the combined 3 rounds previous, he had 7 birdies. 2 birdies a round, basically. 9 in the final. His 63 was the lowest score in major championship history. Before the 1973 U.S. Open, there had been 264 majors played. More than 15,000 players had played in those events. No one had ever shot 63.
Yeah.
I mean, it just keeps getting better. Oakmont had previously hosted the U.S. Open on 4 occasions, 1927, 35, 53, and 62. In those 4 events, 614 golfers teed it up. Only 3 finished the week under par. That just goes to show you, like, it was playing just as tough back then for those guys as it is today for these guys.
Well, not just as.
Well, and we don't know. To be fair, we don't know yet.
To be fair, they didn't have the technology to have the greens rolling a 15.
True, but they also didn't have the putters we have today. They didn't have the drivers we have today.
I'm not saying, but it's also a shorter course. Like, the course has changed since back then.
But it was for them. It was playing longer. For them in their time, it was playing further.
I agree. I'm just saying.
So you're just saying what's the point you're making by saying it?
The hardest part about scoring in golf is putting and chipping. That's the hardest part at the highest level.
I agree.
So if the greens are rolling a 15 and you have like a 3-degree slope and it's good, like if you're...
First off, they're not stimping a 15.
What are they stimping?
They're stimping like a 13.
Okay.
Which is crazy fast, but still. We've seen faster.
They were probably stimping like an 8 back then.
They were stimping more than an 8 back then. I mean, I know it was before the stimp meter was a thing.
I doubt they were stimping more than an 8.
They were probably stimping more than an 8, buddy.
I don't think so.
But you can think what you want.
I've seen old like major championship footage. Those things are stimping an 8.
You can think whatever less. You can think whatever the heck you want.
Maybe less.
Whilst Miller shot a new Oakmont course record of 63. Now, course record, not tournament record, course record, just for those of you out there. The rest of the field averaged 73.8.
Okay.
In fact, only 3 players broke 70 on that Sunday. Only 3.
Okay. Miller
beat the field by 10.8 shots. In the best round of his career, Tiger Woods only beat the field by 10.19 shots. And that was at the Bridgestone Invitational in 2013. Even when Jim Furyk shot his 58 at the 2016 Travelers, he only beat the field by 10.66 shots. That's crazy, Zach.
I'm not.
This is why I wanted to share it, though.
Okay.
Since the PGA Tour had begun tracking every shot in 2004, there have been over 400,000 rounds recorded. Only 2 rounds have bettered the field average by more than Miller's 10.8. Furyk's 59 at the 2013 BMW Championship, and J.B. Holmes 62 at the WGC Cadillac.
You know how I know about that WGC round from J.B. Holmes?
Yeah.
Because he was playing with Ian Poulter, and he said that's the best round of golf I've ever seen.
Yep.
I have never seen anyone play that good.
Yep. I remember that. Across the last 40 years in majors, Miller's round ranks 4th versus field average. You have Gary Player at 11.4. Okay, that was round 2. He shot 63, round 2 at the PGA in 1984. 11.1, that's Greg Norman, 63, round 2 at the 1986 Open. And then 10.9, Paul Casey at the 66. He shot 66 at the 2007 U.S. Open. None of those came in the final round, however. Remember, Miller won by 1 shot. Miller's round is considered one of the best displays of ball striking ever. In 18 holes, he hit 10 approaches within 15 feet. Let me say that again for the people in the back. In 18 holes, he hit 10 approaches within 15 feet of the hole. He hit 5 within 6 feet, including a 3-iron on the first hole, often considered the hardest opening hole in major golf. It is, to 5 feet. One more thing. One more.
Looks
I
like there's a
lost.
lot more than one more.
I'm only going one more. If you use modern strokes gained analysis, it is estimated that Miller gained 8.9 strokes in approach. Is that good? Well, Scotty Scheffler, who leads the PGA Tour this year in strokes gained approach, with an average gain of 1.3.
How do
The
you
best round so
how
far.
is, how is strokes gained determined?
Strokes gained is determined on the field.
Okay, so is the field stronger than it was back then?
I
Currently?
agree, it was stronger than it was back then. But look at this: the best round so far this season was 5.3 by Ben.
By
Griffin.
Ben Griffin with the Max
Fly
Fly 2X, baby.
Yeah, that's right. But that is the closest this season.
Yeah, he
So
shot
that
7
8.9
under in that
shots-
round where no one was even close. I mean, he shot even par the rest of the tournament and finished second.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, this should show you how amazing this round was.
By the way, Ben Griffin is hilarious. I think he's actually a really funny guy.
Oh, he is funny. Did you see him take the Max Fly and drop it down in the rough?
I did see that. I also saw at Memorial last week, he hit a shot out of the rough under a tree. He hits it. I think at the time he's currently leading the tournament, and he hits a shot. Apparently he didn't like it very much. He goes, I'm going to kill myself.
Just to show you how amazing this was, can I say one more thing?
Yeah, sure.
He started the day 12th. We talked about that already.
Yeah.
Here's a list of some of the notable players he overtook on Sunday: Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, Arnold Palmer, Tom Weiskopf, Lee Trevino, and Bob Charles.
It was a great round.
Like, to say that there wasn't a field involved, Zach, is just not true. Now, I agree with you. Golf's way better than it used to be.
Zane, that only point of that was to talk about strokes gained. I'm not saying that
I
there
get
weren't
that.
good players. I'm saying
but that was a good field.
strokes gained is against field average, not against the top of the field.
That's fair. I told you that was fair. Oh, it could have been lower. He 3-putted the long par 3 8th hole from 20 feet.
Guy sucks.
That's
Three-putting?
dude, that's so wild. Anyway, we're done with it.
Okay. You're
I still think, like, I saw this. I wanted to share it because that does sound like that's the best round of golf ever. Like, that would be, like, think about that for a second. On any normal PGA Tour stop, playing that well, he probably shoots 58, maybe less. You know what I mean? Maybe. I'm not saying he does. I'm just saying maybe. Anyway, you got anything you want to share? I'm done with that.
I was looking back through my stuff and I didn't have anything. So,
Well, that's not cool.
I'm sorry.
You should have things. Have them. So I wanted, we talked a lot before about the Bryson DeChambeau.
Sorry, I just saw a tweet.
We talked about. Okay.
I'll bring it up at the end. It's YouTube golf related. You don't care.
I don't care.
Yep.
0. Remember?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and share this because this has been one of the things that we've been covering on the show. Is like Rory, his attitude, Bryson, his attitude. What are you doing, buddy? And so I just want to share this with you guys. It says one of these guys is considered to be one of the, quote, gives us everything, is almost too open, doesn't owe us anything more than with how much he's given us. And the other is considered, quote, whiny, blames his equipment instead of himself, petulant and spoiled. Can you guess which is which? Let's go ahead and play these back to back. You ready?
I feel like I've, as the last few weeks go, I think I learned a lot on Thursday.
Oh, sorry.
I feel like I've, as the last few weeks go, I think I learned a lot on Thursday, Friday last week and did a good bit of practice at home and feel like I'm in a better place with everything going into this week.
And what did you learn at home?
I learned that I wasn't using the right driver.
Have you settled on a driver that you want to use this week, first of all?
Yeah.
What is it?
A TaylorMade.
What model? Are you back to the 10? Or the
come out and
35?
watch me hit balls and you'll see.
Okay. And And going back to the PGA, how big of a factor was it that you didn't have the gamer driver that you had used at the Masters?
It wasn't a big deal for Scotty, so it shouldn't have been a big deal for me.
Right here in front left.
I feel like I've,
Oh God, I hate
So there's
him.
that.
Oh
There's
my
that.
God, I hate him.
Yeah,
I
this is
hate
just
him.
this is just
I hate
this
him
is
to
just
death.
trash. This is
I
just
hate him.
trash.
I hate
And then here's the counterpart.
I guess secondly, you mentioned the new irons. What's the biggest difference in the set that you're using now compared to what you've used in the past?
Yeah, so we iterated on the design of the face. The heel's a little bit flatter on the curvature. My face obviously has some curvature on the irons, and so we're just optimizing for the gear effect on the heel and on the toe based on the mass properties that are there. So like the heel's doesn't gear effect as much on an iron at my speeds, and so hitting it on the heel got to be a little flatter, and then the toe has a little bit more roundness on it to account for that out there. And then I move the CG out towards the toe. I've got such heavy grips and heavy golf shaft that it moves the CG of the club all the way to the heel, and so we try to offset that with that tungsten weight on
What kept you from using the clubs you're going to use this week at the Masters or the PGA Championship?
a few design changes. The curvature on the face was a little different. The weight on the toe didn't feel right for some reason. And there were some internal things that we worked on in the club that made the face more resilient when you hit it all across the face. So that's ultimately why it wasn't ready, and we had to print another version. This is version 3.
Did you think they performed better than what you had been using last week?
Yeah. I mean, well, the weeks before that, I put them in play last week, and they felt great. Is it going to be the ultimate answer to me winning? I mean, probably not. Like, you still got to putt well, drive it well, and everything. Well, I think will it help me on certain shots and certain conditions? I think it might. And if it doesn't, I'll go back to the drawing board and try to figure out why that occurred and continue to optimize.
Yeah. So what
I
is
I love him so much. I love him to death.
so who is you tell me. Who
Dude,
is
I can't stand when Zane can't figure out how to stop sharing a tab and just have it be two of us on screen. It bothers me. There we go.
you're a jerk, dude.
No, I can't stand. You know what? This is what propaganda does. This is what propaganda does. It creates characters like Roy McIlroy they give us so much. He's almost too open, honestly. That might be his downfall, is that he's too open with the media and with the fans. He's too open. He gives us so much. You know, honestly, I bet that like he's never done anything. Actually, I know he's never done anything wrong ever. He's pretty much like the perfect individual, and you know, I would marry him if I could. That's golf media.
Yeah.
Bryson, clip him out of context. Yeah, you know, the ball's a little too spinny right now. We need to work down and find the right golf ball that'll go a little bit straighter. And then you have Dan Rappaport coming out of the rafters. Oh, I would like a golf ball straighter. And I just can't stand it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame you. It's pretty wild.
What driver are you using this week? A TaylorMade?
Well, and just say it. I don't know is he contractually obligated to not say that he's playing the QI10? I don't get.
Well, like, here's the thing. I don't even. So here's my thing. TaylorMade I think this is all club companies. They have to make a decision. Okay? If you hear it, if I'm a consumer and I hear an answer like that, that is worse than him saying I'm playing the QI10.
Agreed.
That is him saying I don't want to play their new shit. And I'm not allowed to say that I don't want to play that shitty driver they just came out with.
That's
He's
exactly
not allowed
right,
to say
dude.
that.
This is the take.
Yeah.
This is the take.
He should just say, oh, I'm playing the TaylorMade QI10. It just fits better for me.
Yeah, cool, because it's the same thing that happened whenever it was Bryson. Bryson was in that had the shoe on that foot back in the day with Cobra. Everybody remembers it. This is the worst
I will
club
say
ever.
he did Cobra a little more dirty.
Yeah, of
than-
course.
Than that, but like it's the same concept. Like if
It's like just don't like.
but
all
again,
you have
there's
to
going
do
to
is
be hundreds of articles written about what's in the bag for Rory this week, and people that care are going to see he's playing the QI10 LS.
Yeah. Yep. I just don't see why he can't just.
I mean, I think if that's in his contract, I think that club companies in general love you guys. Actually, I don't love any of you guys.
No, like
Staff
all he has to say If you ask him what club he's using, just say I'm using the same one I've been using. That's all you got to do. I don't get the whole thing.
But then
where
it's
like,
the smarmy attitude too.
yeah, that's what gets me. So that's actually what bothers me way more.
Is it the QI10?
Yeah.
You come watch me hit balls on the range and figure it out.
Yeah, come hit me, watch ball, and then with that smirk, it's like, what a
It's like, okay,
dick.
buddy. Okay,
Yeah.
dude.
Like, let's go back and I just want
Go
to listen.
shoot a
To,
78 in your opening round and then not talk to the media for a week and a half.
I want to
Go
listen.
do that. I don't want to hear from him.
I want to listen to Rory one more time.
Every interview he
The
does.
last few weeks ago, I think I learned a lot on Thursday, Friday last week, and did a good bit of practice at home, and feel like I'm in a better place with everything going into this week.
And what did you learn at home?
I learned that I wasn't using the right driver.
Have you settled on a driver that you want to use this week, first of all?
Yeah,
What is it?
a TaylorMade.
What model? Are you back to the
I mean,
10? Or the
come out and
35?
watch me hit balls, and you'll see.
Okay.
Like what?
And
Look at that face.
and going back
He's making.
to the PGA,
I thought it was a pretty fair question. No,
It obviously is a fair question.
it's a super fair question.
how big of a factor was it that you
The
didn't
dumb
have
thing,
the gamer
again, the
driver
dumb
that you
thing
had used?
about this is, again, he's saying that you can find out what driver I'm playing, so it's not like it's a secret.
Yeah.
It's not like he's got a QI10 that says QI35 on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so dumb.
You're gonna see it in his bag. I don't understand. I don't understand.
I don't either.
Test his driver, USGA. Test his driver for his opening round.
That's right.
He's hit that thing 40,000 times, and it's non-conforming again.
Yep. Anyway, it's wild. It's nuts. I don't.
A lot
like
of the
it.
tour guys did not like the QI35. I do know that.
A lot of the tour guys, yeah, I did know that as well.
Scotty Scheffler, I think, is still on the QI10 as well.
I think you're right. So real quick, just wanted to share with you guys Zach shared this with me. I believe you shared this with me. The Sounding Off by Brandel Chambly.
Potentially.
Did you share that with me? We're going to just go over it real quick. Just before we go into, because after this, we're going to go into our DraftKings picks. We're going to go into all that. And then, hopefully end this.
And then we
a
got
little
some
on
YouTube
time.
golf stuff to cover because...
Jesus. Go ahead and cover your YouTube golf, and then we'll
No,
talk
we got to
about
do all the important stuff first because you don't care about this.
this is not Brandel is the opposite of important. So
No, we'll
I'll
do
let-
it last because you have unfinished business from last week that you didn't take care of. That I
you
had-
go ahead and share the YouTube golf stuff.
No, we're doing it last. We're going into U.S. Open picks. Zane, who's your first pick? I want
Zach,
you to know-
we're
I
not
want you
doing
to
U.S.
know
Open
mine.
picks till the end. We end with U.S. Open picks.
Okay, then
Follow
go
the protocol.
Going to Brandel because I saw him on PTI today and it pissed me off. Just seeing him on PTI pissed me off.
Please stop. Just go into your
No, I want to
YouTube
see the
golf.
Brandel thing because I don't remember.
YouTube golf. YouTube golf.
Okay, YouTube.
Dear
golf.
God, please do it. All right, share.
I mean, you don't have to beg, dude. Okay. I just saw this tweet. It was funny. So, good golf. First ever good cut major. Watch it here. And there's the thumbnail. Wesley Bryan chiming in below. An all-timer. Cut major. Y'all should look into starting a new soft drink called Dew Mountain. I think that has a nice ring to it. That was funny. I really enjoyed that. So, and then I got to find the stuff from last week about Riggs that Zane wanted to talk about. Because Zane was going to have beef with Riggs a little bit. Is he still there? Oh, he's gone. Where'd he go? It's just me, guys. It's just me. All right. I'm going to entertain you until this man gets back.
Until this man gets back, what are you talking about?
You left.
Yeah, because you're talking YouTube golf.
You got beef you got to settle with Riggs. You brought this up before the show last week. We did get to it last week.
Get out of town. What do you mean I've got beef to settle with Riggs?
You said you were going to beef with Riggs on the pod because you don't like him at all.
I didn't say that at all.
Zane,
I mean,
don't
I've
lie to our
said
audience.
I've said I don't like his attitude. Yeah, but like, I mean, dude's doesn't seem like a cool guy, but
I think he seems like an okay guy. I just think he's a reverse bagger.
which makes him not a good guy. You know, like
I mean, hey, the only person he
Vegas
started-
handicappers, Vegas. Why don't you just share the thing about? I don't get why you can't just share the YouTube golf on your own.
It's a podcast, Zane. We're supposed to be talking about this.
I get that, but I don't care about YouTube golf, and you,
All
you
right.
can talk
No,
with
I-
people.
fine. Go ahead. Next subject. We won't talk about YouTube golf anymore.
What?
No, just go. Just go. Randall.
Dude, you're being ridiculous.
Randall, he's on
Anyway,
PTI today. Come on, let's go.
he's on PTI today.
Do
So
you know what PTI is, Zane?
yeah, pardon the interruption. I know
Hey,
what
there you go.
freaking PTI is.
I'm just making sure.
All right, so Golf Channel analyst Brandon Chambly has taken another jab at Live Golf after being asked if he watches the league.
Oh yeah.
He said, quote, I watch, but I generally think it's like watching a race of box cars and being told they're F1 race cars. Quote, Phil Mickelson has mastered the public art in which self-righteousness congratulates.
Wait, no. You talk. Wait, did we talk about this?
I don't think we did.
Or did we
Congratulates
talk
the
about it last week?
Celebrator. It was June 8th. We didn't cover this last week.
Oh, we didn't. You
No.
must have called me about this.
I called you about it.
That's what it was.
In which self-righteousness congratulates the Celebrator. He and his Live compatriots, all of them subject to the dramatic irony of having resigned themselves to play purely for money, not for history or for their respective countries, but purely for money. Quote, and now present to virtually no purpose, their presence in major championships is likely attended by a sense of urgency, the exact opposite, no doubt, of the lack of urgency at Live events. Do you agree or disagree with Brandel?
Someone needs to take this man's thesaurus away.
I agree. I mean, this is just the poshiest thing ever. Celebrator? What? Like when was the last time you used that word?
Well, I believe it was in the King James Bible where they were talking about King Solomon having a party. No, I don't know. Just get this guy out of here. No one. Yeah, only Live guys have a sense of urgency in majors. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
Only Live guys have a sense of urgency in majors.
that's pretty wild, dude. It's like, so nobody, like Rory didn't have sense of urgency at the Masters?
Also, even besides that fact, yeah, these guys only want to play for money. Okay, what do we call elevated events? What do we call?
Well, what do we call the PGA Tour? Don't you just play for money?
Yeah,
Like, there's a lot of events
not-
that aren't historic that you just kind of threw in there.
yeah.
Are those not for money?
The Zurich Classic. Like, should I be stoked about an American winning the Zurich Classic? I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
Do I think that
Or the Shark
Lonto
Shootout?
Griffin represents America if he wins the Zurich Classic with, I don't know, think of another random American golfer, Maverick McNeely? I'd be happy if they did win,
Yeah.
but that's a completely separate thing.
I'm with
If they
you.
win, I wouldn't think, oh yeah, they represent USA, USA. I'd be like, cool. Two of the guys I like won the Zurich Classic. Kind of like when Ben Griffin won the Zurich Classic this year.
Yeah.
Ben Griffin and Nick Taylor.
It's true, he did. Anyway, so that's about it for Brandel. I just don't.
Okay.
I just wanted to share that with everybody, show how much of a posh asshole he is, and move on with
Sounds
my
good
life.
to me.
Is that cool with you?
That's cool with me.
So now we're getting into our picks.
The picks, man.
The picks.
Picks or it
Okay.
didn't happen.
Picks or it didn't happen. So Zach, who we got?
All right. We're starting low to high like I always do.
Cool.
So my outside shot guys, I've named them already. Give me Nick Taylor at $6,300 on DraftKings. That's a downright steal.
Yeah.
Playing really good golf lately. He's very accurate off the tee. Pretty good ball striker. I like him.
Awesome. I'm gonna leave my dark horse picks for last. I've got
Wouldn't you wanna
Scotty
leave your
Scheffler.
Winners.
Scotty
for that?
Scheffler has to be picked. I don't care that he's 4,000 above everybody else. He has to be picked. He is going to do well in this event. Now, I'm not promising he's going to win. I do think he is. I'm not promising a win.
Are you so? I have a question. I saw that they were asking this question
Yeah.
on PTI. Scotty Scheffler or the field this week?
Who wins? Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, I'm taking the field.
You're joking.
No, absolutely.
You're
not.
talking the average of the field. You're taking the average of the field over Scotty Scheffler.
No, what? No, that's not how that works. Scotty Scheffler versus anyone else winning. Literally
then the
anyone
field.
playing the event.
Like that's the bet.
Yeah.
Like, what's the bet on that? There's no way
Yeah.
he's the favorite against the field.
No, but they were talking about is Scotty Scheffler so much of a favorite that like him versus the field is a
It is a conversation, but
terms of
no,
bracket.
you don't
It's not a
you never take
conversation.
that in golf. Tennis,
Now,
you take
granted,
that.
if you would have bet on Scotty Scheffler, to win every event that he's played in the past 2 years, you'd have done better than the S&P 500. But that's kind of irrelevant.
I don't think that's irrelevant. I think you're making my point for me. I think you are.
No,
I
no,
think
no.
you're making my point for me.
I
bro.
saw that stat today, and I was like,
I think you're making my point for me. Anyway, so yeah, so I got Scotty. Zach, next.
all right, my next pick, you know him, you love him, out of England, Aaron Rye. Most accurate player on tour off the tee, over 70% of fairways.
Hit.
Gotta keep it in the short grass this week, and he is one of the best at keeping it in the
Yeah, I'm
short
also
grass.
picking Aaron Rye, actually.
Did you change your pick when we
no,
talked
of course
about it?
not.
Or no?
Never. So Aaron Rye, I also picked him. Zach?
Thought you were doing your
I'm
dark
doing them
horse picks
last.
last.
No.
That's not your dark
I've got
horse pick?
crazier dark horse picks.
All right. My third from the bottom, we've got Sepp Straka. 6 top 10s this year, 14 out of 18. Very long off the tee, very straight off the tee. Good combo at a course that needs you to be
That's very
straight
good.
off the tee. And preferably long.
That's very good. You pick Sepp. You pick Sepp. Okay. I picked
Sepp.
Shane Lowry. Also,
Boo.
Shane Lowry's not a
Terrible
terrible pick. Shane Lowry's a really good pick.
Terrible
He-
pick.
He has
He
one
might
of the
miss the cut
best.
this
Obviously,
week, too.
he's a good course fit for this course, but he also has. He's also got one of the best versus predictions on playing Oakmont. So he's just historically really good at playing Oakmont, regardless of where he's at, strokes gained in data golf. And that's why I picked him. I think that's one of the best picks you can possibly make.
Bold prediction this week, Shane Lowry misses the cut.
That's a
Bold
bold ass prediction. He ain't missing no cut.
Yeah,
He ain't
it
missing
is.
no- Do you want to
He's
bet
missing
another
the
shot
cut
on
this
that?
I mean, it's a 2-shot bet anyway
Yeah.
because it's a
So
major.
another shot.
No, I'm not betting
come
a shot on
dude.
that. It's not
Do
50-50
three.
odds.
We
That's a
want you to
hot
do
take.
3 shots.
A hot take is like 20%. No.
I'll do the shot.
If you gave me
for
if you
40,
gave me 10 to
for
1
top
odds, I'd do
40.
it.
So that's an even bigger cut. Top 40.
No. If you give me 10 to 1 odds, and I'll say he doesn't take the cut.
What do you mean? I do 10 shots? No. Top 40.
You don't have to do them
Top
at
40,
once.
1-1.
No, it's no.
Top 30. Yeah, Zach can do it.
That's close. Let's go top 25. And it's a deal.
I'm going to do it. Top
Okay,
25.
top 25,
So
it's a
Zach's
deal.
going to do 3 shots. That's awesome, Zach. You're going to do 3 shots. You're going to
I'm not gonna
love
be
it,
doing
dude.
any
You're going to
shots.
love it.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna be
Lowry's a
doing any
great
shots
pick,
next week.
by the way. I think you're insane
Not really, but
to say
that's
otherwise. Anyway, you go on.
All right, a cut maker and top 10 machine. Incredible, honestly, that this guy has yet to win on the PGA Tour.
That's
Tommy
a good pick.
Fleetwood.
He's going to play well, I think. He's super accurate. And I think with how fast the fairways are, like we were talking about the guy putting,
Yeah.
I think he's going to be able to
Yeah.
just hit that low bullet that he hits so well.
Yeah.
And keep it under the wind, which it's windy. I think that's a good pick that you made. But I'm going Harris English. Harris English also really good. Course fit, very accurate off the tee. He's also so low when it comes to like how much you're paying for him versus like his outcomes. I think he's got to be a pick this week. Anyway, go.
I'm gonna name, because the person I think is gonna win is not the person who costs the most money on my team. I got Colin Morikawa winning this thing, $9,800 on DraftKings. I really like Colin Morikawa. He's a great course fit. He's extremely accurate off the tee. He's better all around than Aaron Rai, who is the number 1 off accuracy off the tee. So I think Colin Morikawa, good chance of taking this one down, winning his first U.S. Open and getting 3 legs of his career Grand Slam.
Good pick. Here's my 2 dark horses. You ready for this? This is gonna like blow your mind.
Ben Griffin.
No, how would that be a dark horse pick? Brian Campbell. Brian Campbell.
That's not a bad pick.
Huh?
I almost took him.
He's got 8 top 10s.
He's got
8 top 10s. Obviously, those come from out of Korn Ferry and PGA Tour, right? So he's not just PGA Tour. In his last event, he didn't. It looks like he averaged 71.5 scoring. He averaged 71. So he didn't make the cut in his last event. And he is listed in the field. He was actually forced to withdraw from Memorial due to like a shoulder injury, but he tends to tee it up this week. I do think this is going to play. I think obviously with a week of rest, I think he's going to be fine. And I think that he's going to do pretty well when it comes to this course. And again, all you need to do, we've talked about this, is make the cut with these guys. If they do really well, like Matteo Manassero, baby.
What a call,
it was such a good pull. If he does well like Matteo Manassero, then you're golden.
I'm going to be honest. I think with Brian Campbell, the reason I didn't take it, I think we're looking at
it might be.
This week.
I actually might have to change it tonight. You know, I might. I'm really considering it. But he was so cheap. You know, that's why I really wanted to get him, because he's so cheap. Then you have Kevin Velo. Oh, sorry, it's your turn. My bad.
All right, someone I picked because I have to, and I'm a fan of this guy, and I love him to death.
Bryson
I'd
DeChambeau.
die for this man. No, I wouldn't. Bryson DeChambeau, dude. Let's go.
Dog.
First off, I don't think he wins. I think there's almost 0 chance he wins this event. I would be stoked if he did. Back-to-back U.S. Opens would be nuts, especially at 2 courses like Pinehurst.
He's just not ahead of anybody. Like, he's not ahead of the whole strokes gain adjustment for accuracy.
No,
and that's the problem.
That is the problem.
Can he keep it straight?
But
now, new equipment in the bag may lead to that.
New equipment in the bag, and also the fact that he can hit his like 300, 250 yards.
That helps. Sure.
That helps.
If I were him, I might just hit that on every tee box.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think I'm taking driver out if I could hit that 3-iron.
Unless it's like I don't even think it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think he's hitting irons and woods all across that golf course.
Why would you take driver out of your bag in that case? I don't think you do.
Yeah, I mean, it is still playing long, but it's not playing so long that
it's playing pretty long. And my last pick is going to be like the shocker of the world, and I'm going to be so stoked because I think he's going to do something crazy, is Kevin Velo. Kevin Velo. So dude actually has a positive strokes gain adjustment when it comes to this course fit, and Kevin Velo cost me, listen up, he cost me. Let me see if I can go back to see what he costs for this week. Does it say? It won't say. Unless I back out.
It should.
Maybe if I go to edit. Yeah, here it is. $6,100.
You overpaid for him. That's
you think so? I don't think so.
$6,300 for Nick Taylor, and you paid $6,100 for Kevin Velo.
Yeah. I think I got
Only
it.
overpaid.
I think I got this in the bag. Anyway, tell us what you think in the comments. Who got this in the bag? We'll go ahead and state them for the record. So Scotty Scheffler, Shane Lowry, Harris English, Aaron Rye, Brian Campbell, and Kevin Velo. Zach, go ahead and say your group.
I got Nick Taylor, Aaron Rye, Sepp Straka, Tommy Fleetwood, Colin Morikawa, and Bryson
So
DeChambeau.
comment below who you think's got the win and who you think's taking a shot or 2 shots because it's a major. Or 3 shots because of Shane Lowry.
Shane Lowry
Top
will not
25,
finish top
baby.
25.
Let's go.
I feel so good about that,
You can
dude.
feel whatever
I
you want
actually
about it.
think
You're
this
just
is-
wrong.
Dude, I can't even believe
You're
you
just
took
wrong.
that bet. Oh,
You're just,
I can't even believe you took that bet. That
you're
makes me
just
so
wrong,
happy.
dude. All right.
That's unbelievable.
Well,
Thank you, Zach.
that about covers it unless you want to go over your YouTube golf now.
You know what, Zane? We might need to do 2 separate.
Just do it. I'm here for it.
Thank you guys for watching and listening
Oh
this week.
my
I'm Tori
gosh.
Michaels. This is
Oh my gosh.
Hey, go, baby. Oh. I can't believe you did like a British accent thing for the U.S. Open, but that's a separate
That's the
thing.
joke.
Shout out to everyone who watched along or who listened along with us tonight live, and we will see you guys next week
hit that
to
like
recap
button.
the U.S. Open.
And subscribe.
Hit that like button, like and
Notification
subscribe.
bell.
Tell us what you
Hit
like
the
to see
notification bell, guys.
next.